Hello friends, welcome to today's session. I am soft skill trainer from the Department of Career Planning and Development, Chandigarh University. And today we are going to talk about corporate world. And I am sure that when you are basically communicating with anyone, you are using idioms and phrases in your daily routine talks or in your writing skills to make it more impressive. So let's talk about corporate world today and what kind of phrases and idioms we can use to make our corporate communication better and effective. So let's start. So communication in the corporate world, let's take a few examples over here. Looks like we have everyone here. So let's get down to business. So what does this mean? What does this phrase mean? Let's get down to business. This means let's start working on it now. Next is, can you also copy Mark Cannibal in the administrative department? Sure, what's the email address again? So we are just requesting whether they can add a particular person in our conversation, right? Next is, may I speak to Mrs. Nielsen, please? Sure, sir. I will put you through to her secretary. This means I will connect you to her secretary. I will just connect you on call to her secretary. So these are a few phrases which we use in corporate world, and it makes our conversation more effective and impressive. So let's take a closer view look now. Communication in the business world. Just take this example. Networking does play a major role in the corporate world, doesn't it? I would say it's vital. So this is a dialogue between two people, and we are talking about the importance of networking. And when the other person is saying, I would say it's vital, this means it's very important, right? So here are a few expressions, and let us understand these expressions and vocabulary. The if we check for the picture, the image that is being displayed here, the first person is speaking and asking, who's making the keynote speech? And the other person is saying, some hotspot from a big software company in Silicon Valley. So we have used a few expressions or vocabulary words which might not use in our day-to-day conversation. So what are these words? One is the keynote speech, the next is the hotspot, and the third one is Silicon Valley. So what is the meaning of this each word here? Keynote speech means main speech of the event, right? Hotspot means someone who is very good or at successful position in somewhere. And Silicon Valley, a region in California, popular for its concentration of high-tech industries. So whenever we are talking about something related to software or industries, we generally give reference to Silicon Valley. So these are few expressions which we use in our business world. Apart from them, what is the business or incorporate phrase? Let us understand what can be the different phrases that we can use in our business or corporate world. Some of my shares are doing okay, but I do have shares in companies that took a nocitive. Sorry to hear that, pal. So now, what word are we basically encountering here, which is not clear to us? The word is take a nocitive, which means which has reduced suddenly. Maybe the price of a share or the profits have got down suddenly. So we can use this phrase, business phrase, to take a nocitive. Next is a business dialogue. I just feel like we have a winner. I feel the same. This new treadmill should be a hit. So this is again a dialogue, and we are referring to the success of a particular treadmill. So let's test your knowledge now on the phrases. Just you have to complete the phrase. Keep your pen and paper with you, and try to solve this exercise. What's your company's dash? What could be the possible answer? What's your company's core business? Because if we are talking about a company, so we will definitely be asking about what core business are you in, right? Next is the dash of the two companies would create the biggest advertising agency in the country. So what could be done to two countries which could create a biggest advertising agency? So what could be the possible answer? Merger, right? Two companies are merging together. Next is Rolf is highly respected by his, what do we call the people who are working with us in a corporate? Peers. I need to call some new dash today, said Neil to a co-worker. So the answer should be prospects. Prospects means the prospective customers that we can have. We will have to work overtime to meet the deadline. Whatever targets we have to achieve, we might have to work overtime today. So to meet the deadline, this we usually use in our conversations as well, I guess. Many people were invited for the dash of the new store for grand opening, right? So the grand opening of the new store. All the managers agree that Green Tree Hotel is an ideal dash for the conference. So where is the conference held? Definitely it has to be venue. Good. Next, Rogers Dash in advertising would be perfect for our department. So if somebody is having, good knowledge about something, that will be good for our department. That will be perfect. So what is that called? As an expression, expertise. Very well done. You can check out their website for a list of dash events or a list of upcoming events. So tell me about the dash of the conference, Brian asked a coworker. So tell me about the highlights of the conference. So this was about a few expressions that we use in our business world, which is generally we use in our day-to-day communication as well. There are so many words out of these that we use in day-to-day conversations. So special knowledge associated with the person, what is that called? Let us take an example. Max is an experienced professional. He knows all the tricks of the trade. So what phrase can we use for someone who has good knowledge about the profession? So it is tricks of the trade. The next one, okay, let's take this example first. Can I count on you guys to break them in and teach them the tricks of the trade? Sure, Dean, no problem. This means I'm hiring few people to train my new staff or to train someone with the different expertise on the particular topic, right? Next phase, you have to guess the phrase now. Too much paperwork that slows down business. What can be a phrase used for this? Let's take an example. There is always a lot of red tape to take care of before releasing your goods from the port, right? So what is the phrase that we are using here, which is showing a lot of paperwork? That is red tape, right? Very well done. Earn a lot of money in a short time. When we want to earn a lot of money in short time, what would be the phrase? Take an example. They made a killing selling those gadgets. So what could be the phrase here? Make a killing, right? Next is having no profit no or loss. So this means we are at what? Let's take this example. It takes most companies at least a few months to just break even. Just break even means to reach a position where there is no profit, no loss, right? So break even is the phrase that we can use here. The end result. I wouldn't worry so much about the report if I were you. All they care about is the bottom line. So the bottom line is a phrase for end result. Next phrase is talk about your work or business during free time. So the sentence could be, okay guys, I will have lunch with you today, but please let's not talk shop, said the client to his co-workers. So whenever we are free from our work, we generally, end up in a talk shop that we should not do. And talk shop is the phrase that we use for this. Next is running late after the time that was planned. So if I'm running late from the plan, what could be the possible sentence for this? We may need to work overtime. We are behind schedule, said direct to a co-worker. So behind schedule is what is the phrase we can use here. A rough estimate or figure. When we are giving a rough estimate of something, how can we use it in a sentence? Can you give me a ballpark figure on how much you plan to spend? Harry asked the bill. So the phrase here used is ballpark figure, right? And let's talk about a few idiomatic expressions now. Till now, we were discussing about some expressions and phrases that we can use in corporate world. And now let's switch on to idiomatic expressions. So what is an idiomatic expression? Are a type of informal English that have a meaning different from the words that we are using in the expression. For example, hold your horses. So we are not talking about holding our horses. This means actual horses. We are talking about just be patient, just wait for something, sometime. Okay. Next is bring the house down. This means making the audience applaud or laugh it very, openly. Again, we are using an idiom for a different expression which is different from the meaning of its words. Next is acid test. So what does it mean? It means it proves the effectiveness of something, and the sentence could be, I practiced hard at the dance sessions, but the acid test will come when the master will assess our solo performance. This means the real test will be when the master will assess us, right? Next is cut the ground under your feet. So what does it mean? When you cut the ground from under someone's feet means you are weakening someone's position. So what could be the possible sentence? When Team India hit more than 350 runs in one day international, they cut the ground under the opponent's feet. Next, chase your tail. So what is the meaning of this? Spending a lot of time and energy doing a lot of things but actually achieving too little. When we put in so much but the result is not that much, right? So how can we use this in a sentence? He has been chasing his tail all week collecting data but the report is still not ready. The next one is whole bag of tricks. So what does it mean? It means trying all the clever means to achieve something. Sometimes we do that, but then it depends whether we are able to achieve that or not, right? So the sentence could be, it was really difficult to find the information even after applying whole bag of tricks. Next is deliver the goods. The meaning is to do what is expected or promised. And the sentence could be, I have given my car to a new mechanic for repair. Hope he delivers the goods. Right. So this is I'm hoping that he is doing or he's coming up with what is expected from him. Next is fine tooth comb. So what does it mean? It means examining something carefully to not miss out any details. So you are not missing out any details. You are completely, trying to cover everything all. So what could be the sentence here? The boss examined my report with a fine-tooth comb before submitting it to the senior, right? So that senior couldn't find any fault in it. So I'm just checking for all the minute details. Use the idiom fine-tooth comb. Next one, explore all avenues. So this is very easy. You are trying every possibility to get the result. So sentence could be, it is a difficult thing to do, but if we really want it done, we must explore all avenues. Next, fast track something, which means rating something higher on priority list and to achieve the desired result. So you are putting something on priority and giving your best to accomplish that. So the example could be, in view of the seriousness of the crime, the civil society is pressing up on a fast-track decision from the court. So whenever we want some fast decisions from the court, then we say this case is being in fast track now. So definitely the decision will come early. Next is get ducks in a row. So what does it mean? Getting things well organized. So if you really want to achieve something, you have to keep your ducks in a row, isn't it? So let's see an example of it. To ensure a successful product launch, we must get our ducks in a row. And the 10th one, last one is get the show on the road. So what does it mean? It means putting up a plan or idea into action. So basically executing something. So example could be, now that we have completed all the legal formalities, let's get the show on the road. Okay, we have a few more. Keep your fingers on the pulse. So this means being constantly aware of most recent events or developments around you. So the sentence could be, an entrepreneur must keep his fingers on the pulse of the market to be successful, means completely apprised of what is happening. And the now last one is mean business. This means being serious about what you are now. So whatever you have said, you're very serious and you mean that, right? So now that all our policies about work are put up on intranet, we mean business. A few examples. Now, think on your feet is again one more. So think on your feet is adjusting quickly to changes and making fast decisions. So when you are making fast decisions, adjusting in the new circumstances, you can say, I'm thinking on your feet, think on your feet. So the sentence could be, a good salesman must be able to think on his feet to close the deal. Next is sail through something. This means being successful in doing something without any difficulty. You're sailing smooth, right? So example could be, the presentation at the national conference was extremely important for the company. We sailed through it. This means we completed it without any hustle or bustle. Last is the tricks of the trade, and which means clever or expert way of doing something. Being into construction business for last 10 years, I know all the tricks of the trade. So I know everything, every possible solution for any problem. Now let's test your knowledge. Again, be ready with your pen and paper and give me the correct answers. The teacher asked us to talk about dash of industrial development. So what could be the possible answer? A piece of cake, odds and ends, pros and cons, ups and downs. So we can say the teacher asked us to talk about the pros and cons of industrial development. This means the favorable and unfavorable points of industrial development. Next is, he has the gift of gab. What does it mean? Gift of gab. Three options are, he is gifted, he is a chatterbox, or he is a good conversationalist. So I hope that you know that it is, he is a good conversationalist. This means he is good at conversation. Parental property has become a bone of contention between the siblings. So what could be the possible answer here? Meaning of this idiom: unifying factor, something that causes a quarrel, a firm view, or none of these. So it is quite quite obvious from the sentence itself that it has to be option B, something that causes a quarrel. He has been jobless for several months, and it is his wife who keeps the pot boiling. Now, what does it mean, keeps the pot boiling? Avoids starvation, keeps the fire burning, is angry, or keeps firing. So definitely, if the person is jobless and his wife is doing everything, so she is avoiding starvation. So A is the correct answer. In the end, he had to eat the humble pie. So what could be the possible meaning of this particular idiom? Apologize humbly. Yes, the first option is the correct option. To be a good orator, you don't have to play galleries. So what could be the possible answer? Offend audience, to be prepared, appease select audience, or to appeal to the lower taste. This means you have to appeal to the lower taste, means everybody you have to cover if you are a good orator. The officer took him to task. So it's very easy, it is A option, rebuked him. Okay. Next is, it's raining cats and dogs. What does it mean? It means it's raining heavily. So B option is correct. It's raining very hard. Ninth, when his brother returned from factory, he looked like a duck in the thunderstorm. So what could he look possibly? Come on, you can just give me this answer. He looked distressed. Yes, I found his father having a cold feet in starting of a new business. Very confident about, too much interested, reluctant, or over enthusiastic. So having a cold feet means he was reluctant to start a new business. So this is about the idioms and phrases that we can use in our conversation in corporate world or business world. And I hope today you have learned many of the idioms and phrases and you are knowing now the meaning of them so that you can communicate well whenever there is any requirement. So all of goodbye from my side and wish you all the very best. Thank you.